Go. All right. We are recording. Hey, everybody. My name is Joy Bowen, and I am a two-time elite 6-star diamond coach on this team, and it is my honor and privilege really to spend some time with you tonight. I am excited about what we are going to talk about because I really, truly feel like this can be a difference maker in your business. So let me go ahead and share my screen and get started because I want to respect your time. Here we go. I am one of those crazy people who loves the chat feature. So I really do hope that you guys utilize it and converse with each other as we talk tonight. I'd love this to be an interactive discussion. But we are going to be talking about the art of becoming relentless. But before we do all of that tonight, before we unlock your full potential as a coach, I want to do a little recognition and some updates, and then we're going to just dive on in and have a heart-to-heart conversation together. So first of all, we have on our bigger team, Arit has a couple of new Star Diamond coaches. So we want to do a massive shout out to Stacy. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your last name, Kleppel. She is a new 1-star diamond coach. That is awesome. That means you are going to be walking the stage at Summit, which is super fun. We also have another 1-star diamond coach, Sharon Dacus, which this is just amazing. Congratulations, Sharon. Job well done. I cannot wait to give you guys a standing ovation at Summit. It's going to be super fun. Just a couple of the updates, which hopefully you guys are, in the new Coach Online office. The news section is very crystal clear. I find it so much easier to read now. So hopefully you are staying in the loop a little bit better. But just in case you have been living under a rock and you don't know about these updates, here they are. So the 80-day obsession resistant loops, they are now available for standalone purchase. So that's pretty exciting. I don't know how many of y'all are doing 80-day obsession. Hopefully you're chatting it up. But I today thought, oh my gosh, this is a very hard workout. So hopefully you guys are having fun with 80-day obsession. There are some enhancements to the My Challenge Tracker Coach portal. So if you have any questions, you can visit FAQ 3222 for more information. But it's pretty cool that they're always making that better for us. This month, unless I hope you know this because it's like the biggest stinking deal in fitness, but we have $10 off all challenge packs and completion packs that are $160 or more. So right now, our all access challenge pack is only $150 for the month of February. I literally wish it were, $3,000. Like, I cannot believe that it's only $150. So hopefully you guys are making the most of that. Also, I just want to remind everyone that you have to be on the opt-in list in order to receive an invitation to go on the cruise next year for the Success Club trip. Andrew and I went on the first cruise a couple years ago, and we had an absolute blast. Of course, we're going again. We're all signed up. But truly, you guys, you will never be able to cruise again without being completely spoiled because there's Shakeology bars and sunrise workouts, and they even have a special menu for coaches in the dining room. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We are so spoiled. But definitely make sure you go to anchorsaway2019.com and get on the opt-in list so you can get an invitation. This is also really exciting news. So because the 80-day obsession packs, the completion packs, and the multiple options that were available were so popular, we now have new deluxe and mega packs available for our challengers. So you can check out these new packages at FAQ 3012. But they are phenomenal, and they are very similar, very parallel to the 80-day obsession packs, just minus the sliders and the loops. So make sure you are aware of that and presenting all the options to people you're talking to. All right, just a few deadline dates to make sure you have circled on your calendar. So summit recognition dates, y'all. You have to begin your qualification if you are shooting for Star Diamond on April 12th. You have to wake up as a brand new diamond, and you have to hold that new rank for 6 weeks until May 17th if you want to be recognized as a new Star Diamond at Summit. Now, the other thing too that you should know is that there is this thing called ribbon envy. And it's super important for you guys to work hard for these qualification dates, because there is nothing worse than getting to Summit and you are a diamond coach, but you miss the deadline to be recognized as a diamond coach at Summit. And so you've got like an emerald ribbon on your lanyard. And so like the first year that I went as a Beachbody coach, you know, like I had just a few ribbons on my lanyard. And then the next year it got longer. And like last year, it kind of felt like a loincloth. It was absolutely ridiculous. So all that to say, you guys, like, you don't want to suffer from ribbon envy when you get to Summit. So if you, want to be recognized as a diamond coach at Summit, then make sure you are paying attention to these qualification deadlines and working really hard to achieve that, because you don't want to, and they have banners everywhere with names on them of all the different ranks, and you want to be able to point to your name and have it reflect your hard work. So make sure you guys are circling these dates and working toward them so that you don't have ribbon envy or banner envy or any other envy, that you are super excited to be recognized for your effort at Summit. Okay, so we are going to talk tonight about becoming relentless as a coach. And relentless is what takes us from good to great to unstoppable. So I want to share a little bit about my story real quick for those of you who are new and don't know who the heck I am. I am that coach who said no to this opportunity for 7 years. I was on Stephanie's one of her dream team lists when she first started as a Beachbody coach, and she came to me and said, hey, would you consider just learning about it? And I was like, no, I won't. I'm not going to learn about it. And I threw away packets of Shakeology, and I was like, Miss Little Know-It-All. I don't even know why she was so nice to me afterwards, because like I was that no girl, like a no way Jose kind of girl. And for 7 years, I watched Stephanie, post encouraging content on social media. I would see her like dress up in fancy gowns and be recognized on stage. I didn't know where it was, but it was Summit. And she had pictures with Tony Horton. And there was a part of me that was like, is that for real? Is she just like, posting this highlight reel that, looks super fancy, but maybe it's not really the truth of what's going on? Like, I just was super skeptical. But, I was proud of her and her success. And of course I was watching. And our family went through back to back medical exams. Hey guys, if you can mute yourselves, that would be super helpful. I think I got it. So anyway, my son had a swollen optic nerve. So we kind of went through, trying to make sure he didn't have a brain tumor for a year. And so we had spinal taps and medication and specialists. And, it was a lot of stress for myself and Andrew walking through that with our son. And a year later, Andrew nearly died in a freak atrial flutter episode during his black belt test. We had a care flight helicopter ride and 3 days in ICU. I was greeted by a chaplain, and my friends were, actually whispering behind my back. I didn't know it at the time.
Why can I not hear?
About how they were going to take care of Joy once Andrew died. At the time, I was working for a nonprofit organization and was really making a nonprofit wage. Let's just put it that way. And it was a very scary time. And so everyone was kind of wondering like what was going to happen to Joy. And, thankfully they figured out what was wrong with Andrew and they performed surgery. And I mean, he's stronger than ever now, but like it was a really, truly scary situation. And a year later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I've had a bilateral mastectomy, reconstruction surgery, and you could say that our family has been through hell. But on the heels of that, I have been self-medicating with food, throughout my whole treatment and surgery and recovery and stuff. And so I remember having this defining moment in my closet, truly, where I just kind of felt like, this is 40. Are you for sure? Are you kidding me right now? I was like 41. Oh, that's good. Writing on top of, I have no idea. I've lost all control of the call, but there's writing on this is awesome. If I can do this, anybody can do this. I don't know who undid it, but thank you. It was probably Stephanie saving the day. But anyway, so I was standing in my closet and I'm having this, like, are you for freaking real? Like, this is 41, 42. I feel completely frumpy. And none of my clothes fit because, they kind of had changed me, obviously, in the reconstruction process. Plus, I gained weight. Plus, my job wasn't really fulfilling. Plus, like, my oldest was now struggling with depression from all that had happened. So, like, we all kind of felt depressed in the house. And I remember just, like, having this moment where I'm like, okay, seriously, like, you can either just fade into the background and start hiding yourself behind your kids and photographs, or you can fight for strength in your life. So I reached out to Stephanie, and after 7 years of saying no, I asked her for help. And I started as a challenger, but I had 3 friends who wanted to join the challenge group with us. And so Stephanie, she actually tricked me and said, hey, do you want to be a preferred customer? She didn't use the word coach. Do you want to be a preferred customer and get the referral money, or would you like me to keep the referral money? And what's so embarrassing is that at the time I was like, oh, poor Stephanie needs the money. Like, I'm sure she's not making a whole lot of money in that little Beachbody coaching thing. And so I felt really badly about, like, secretly, like $150, you guys, like, with all of our massive medical debt, would have been a huge blessing for us. And so I'm like, gosh, if you don't mind, I would love the referral money. Like, seriously, that would be such a blessing. And so she signed me up, and I went to go sign up. And y'all, I thought you should know this because, like, I'm the biggest train wreck. So, like, initially I signed up with the deluxe package, which I don't even know if we do deluxe packages anymore, but the deluxe pack, yes, we do. Deluxe package. So it had no Shakeology. So then she was like, well, we sent the wrong link out, so now you got to order Shakeology. So I did the deluxe package. I ordered Shakeology on top of it. Because I didn't order a challenge pack, guess what? I had to pay the coach application fee. I didn't even get that waived. So I paid as much money as you can possibly pay to be a Beachbody coach, which serves me right because I said no for 7 years. So y'all, I am that person. I'm that person that you really want in your business, and that you're really bummed out when they say no. But you know what? Like, you just don't know what's going to happen 7 years from now in their life. And you don't know how desperately they're going to need this business. Like, I needed this business. And I didn't need this business for the money. I needed it for the relationships. I needed it for, like, my own, like, to become relentless for myself, because I was at a point in my life where I felt like all of life was passing me by. Like, I was watching everyone, like, live in their full potential, and I was stuck. I felt so stuck. So you just never know, like, that person that you really want on your team, that you really want to see their life change, you just never know what's going to happen to them 5-7 years from now, right? And it's funny because my team is full of people now who have said no for at least like a year or 2 or 3. So anyway, I hope that brings some encouragement to you. But we want to talk about, like, what does this matter? Like, we all go through hard crap. So what does it matter that I went through hard crap and that I'm still here? Who cares, right? I mean, the reason why it matters is that Andrew and I know very intimately in this business as well as in life what it feels like to be kicked in the gut, to be knocked on the ground, to stand up, fight back, and get better. And that is what being relentless is all about. Y'all got to make a decision. What are you going to do when you get knocked down? in this business, because guess what? It happens all the time. It's not some like picture perfect story. Success is like full of ups and downs, and you know, it's not a linear pathway. You have to decide that you are going to go from good to great to unstoppable, and that you're not going to let the setbacks set you back, right? Here's the reality. We all want to be known for something. I'm going to share with you some content that from Mel Robbins, from Andy Stanley, like some of my favorite thought leaders. I have nothing original to share with you tonight. I have just absorbed it from other people who are far more gifted in communicating than I am. But here's the reality, right? Like we all want to be known for something. In the chat, I would love for you to like write, like literally tell everyone on this call, like, what do you want to be known for? For me, when I had to sit down and think about it, like there are a lot of things. Like when I signed up in this business, I really did want to be known for something. It's why I felt so dissatisfied with my job. I wanted to be known for being a hard worker. I wanted to be recognized for my work, right? Like that I was a hard worker. I wanted to be known as a great writer. I wanted to be known as someone who brought great ideas to the table. I want to be known as a great mom and a great wife. I want to be known as a great worship leader, right? Like these are things that I want to be known for. What do you want to be known for, right? Because at the end of the day, we all have that longing. We all have that desire that we want to be known for something bigger than just ourselves, right? So what happens? What happens when we don't measure up? What do you do when you don't measure up to your expectations of what you want to achieve? What happens when you don't measure up to your own expectations? Has that ever happened to you where like you're like, oh, I'm going to hit Success Club every single month for 12 months straight. I'm going to be a Success Club All-Star Legend. I want to be known as a Success Club All-Star Legend. And somehow it doesn't happen this month. So what happens when you don't measure up to your own expectations of what you want to be known for? You know what we start doing? We start creating excuses. I've done it. We start to mislead, like we start to manage our image. And this happens on social media all the time, right? Like we try to maybe project a different image on social media than what might really be happening. Has anyone done that? Of course we have. Thank you. But that makes us imaginary. I mean, really think about it. When we don't measure up and we create excuses and we start to mislead our circumstances and we manage our image and we start to project something different on social media, we become imaginary. We start pretending, right? And when we start pretending, we stop growing because we're so obsessed with managing the image and trying to see what like top coaches are doing in the network and posting their words and posting similar pictures and posting similar calls to action. We start managing this image and trying to be more successful or more than who we authentically really are. And so instead of doing the hard work of growing, we're so busy pretending. We're so busy trying to manage something that isn't really authentically who you are. And here's the reality, y'all. We all have these gaps. Every single one of us. We all have gaps. We all hide. We all cover. We all pretend. And if we're not careful, we can become pretendaholics. We really can. We can become total pretendaholics, where we are projecting something complete, like, oh, I did my workout today, and like you showed up for 5 minutes and you took the video and you posted it, or, like, oh, look at my healthy plate of food, but then you went and you had the burger and french fries. Like, it happens. I'm not saying we have to be perfect, but I'm saying if we're not careful, we become pretendaholics. And pretendaholics can't become relentless. Here's the truth. We want to be known for something. We want that, but what we need is a place to be known by someone. The nonprofit I worked for 10 years before doing coaching specialized in family ministry. And we always said, like, life change happens on the basis of relationship. What does that mean? Well, it means we don't normally make huge sweeping changes in our life in a vacuum. That usually, especially in the context of faith, which I worked for a nonprofit faith organization, someone gets to meet Jesus by being introduced to a person, right? Who then, talks to them about that relationship. Well, the same thing is true in any life transformation, that we want to be known for something, but what we really need is to be known by someone, right? And I want you to really think about that in the context of the people that you are communicating with on social media and your private messages and your challenge groups with your team. You don't want to be, you want to be known for something, but you really need to be known by someone. Because you are in the personal transformation business, and it starts with you. So think about this for a minute. Like, sometimes I thought this was a really very funny yet very true analogy, but like, have you ever there's a reason why people who go to rehab fall in love with each other. It's because, like, if you think about it, like, if you have an alcohol or drug problem and you're like, living a life where you're projecting one thing, like you're trying to manage an image, right? You're trying to like be functional, but behind the scenes, like, it's all falling apart. But you go to rehab and you finally can be like authentically a mess. And like, you're with a bunch of people who are authentically a mess. And suddenly it's like, oh my gosh, they know me, right? They know the real me. They love the real me. And that's why so many people fall in love in rehab. I thought that was kind of funny. But if you think about it, the way that you are transformed is to get around a group of people who are becoming transformed. And this is super important, okay? Because we have to have some humanity about our weaknesses and take action. We have to realize like who we authentically are and where we want to go, and surround ourselves with people who are on the same journey toward transformation. So in other words, that's why our challenge groups are so stinking powerful, right? Because you're putting like-minded people together who are all fighting for life change and transformation, and they are able to transform together, right? Because you are most like the 5 people you hang out with the most. Mama was right when she told you that. And so if you are hanging around a bunch of people who don't have goals, who aren't working hard, who are super negative, guess what you're going to do? You're not going to have goals. You're not going to push super hard. You're going to become kind of negative. But if you want to transform yourself, if you want to move from point A to point B, if you want to become a diamond coach or star diamond coach, or you want to hit Success Club 12 months in a row, you need to hang around people who set goals, who are achieving the things you want, right? So it's super important for you guys to have some humanity, like grace about your weaknesses, but take action so that you can start the transformation process, okay? Because here's the thing, if you have a problem that can be solved by action, you don't really have a problem. Do you understand that? And so like, if you haven't hit Success Club yet in February, guess what? That requires action. It's not really a problem because you can take action and you can achieve that goal before the end of the month. You can choose to do it. You might not always wake up and feel super excited to do it, but you can choose to do it anyway. That's what action is about. Michael Jordan was cut his freshman year in high school. I think we all would say that Michael Jordan was a pretty relentless basketball player. And that fact was from my husband. So if it's wrong, like someone tell me so I can like, so that I can have a talking with him later. But listen, he chose to become relentless. Okay. So he was cut his freshman year in high school and he chose to become relentless. What did that require? What do you think it required? It required a lot of practice, a lot of hard work, probably some specialized coaching. He probably had to like put in a lot of hours, right, to become the Michael Jordan that we all know and love. It did not happen overnight. He was not Michael Jordan in high school, if you know what I mean. Like, he had to choose to become relentless. He had to choose to put in the hard work. He had to choose to show up when he didn't feel like it. He had to choose to find like specialized coaches who would give him feedback and help him take his game to the next level. Do you think he regrets any of that hard work, by the way? No, because the joy is in the journey. The joy is in the journey. You think that when Michael Jordan is like getting all those accolades that he ever looks back to that moment where he was cut his freshman year in high school and lets that define him? No, probably not. It probably was like a mile marker, I'm guessing, a decision point for him. Here's the reality. I know a lot of you guys look at, some of us who have achieved elite or whatever in this business. And I remember I went to New Leader Conference and I almost didn't go. And here's why. So like my first year as a coach, first full calendar year, we achieved Premier and we were 4-star team. And the night before heading out to LA for the New Leader Conference, all my diamond coaches fell out of rank. And I had never really experienced that before. It was the first time. And I was like down to 1 star. It was like my husband. That was it. And I felt like a fraud. And I called Stephanie. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go. I don't think I'm going to go to the New Leader Conference because I just feel like a fraud. And she's like, you need to go. You absolutely need to go. You earned that spot. You need to go. And I'm so grateful I did because Bonnie Engel got up and she asked us, like, how many of you in this room are satisfied with where your business is right now? How many of you are frustrated with where your business is right now? And like every hand in the room, how many of you like dropped rank versus like what you ended the year at? Like how many of you are living that reality? And all like, I'm telling you, like 90% of the room raised their hand. And it was in that moment that I was like, oh, this is normal. This is a part of the journey. And it's a choice. You see, you can't choose what other coaches are going to do with this business. You are going to have leaders who achieve diamond and then do nothing. And that's okay. And you can waste so much time and energy wishing and being upset about that, or you can just stay focused on becoming relentless for yourself and going out there and loving on people and inspiring them and encouraging them. Because the people who got you to whatever level you are in this business may not be the ones who take you to the next level. And that's okay. You should know that's a part of this business, right? So, know that these setbacks are a part of your story. They are a part of the evolution of you as a leader. You have to become resilient. You always have a choice with how you are going to react in this business. And if your character is going to evolve, you always have a choice if you are going to stay stuck or if you are going to get better. And last year with Shift Shop, that was my defining moment, y'all. Like, it was like, I just wanted to get better for me. And I got laser focused on just me. I immersed myself in personal development. Y'all, how many of you, truly, are you reading books right now? Are you reading a book right now? Personal development is exactly the pathway to becoming relentless. And here's the thing, if you can't take the first step at identifying, what it is you need to focus on, or what areas of growth that you need to become relentless in this business, then you're not willing to change. And if you're not willing to change, then you don't have a clear why that is driving you to the next level. Nobody wants to stay where they're at. Everybody wants to evolve and grow. People are attracted to the person you are becoming, because this is a universal principle, you guys. Everyone longs to become the best version of themselves. When I was in Shift Shop and I was talking about the shifts in my mindset and my thinking and having more clarity of vision and passion and goals for my life, guess what people would message me the most about? That, not the fitness stuff. It wasn't about the food or the fitness. They were like, that mind shift thing you keep talking about, I need that. I need that. So where are you going? Where are you creating a shift in your life? What are you learning? Because that's what's going to attract people to you. And the moment that you get too focused on what your team isn't doing is the moment that you stop growing. Y'all, this business, I don't know if you listened to the wake up call this morning, but I loved it, because she was talking about how this business can be a stress-free business. And she's absolutely right. Because if you are wholly focused on becoming a better version of yourself, it isn't stressful, because you're not managing an image. You have so much to talk about on social media because you're learning so much. You have zero tolerance for people who have no goals, zero tolerance for people who have that Eeyore personality that are always Debbie Downer. You're not even going to have time. You're not going to be begging people. Why? You're going to be so in love with yourself and the person you are becoming that people are going to be attracted to you. And you're going to have so much to share with them because you are personally growing. It isn't just about fitness. It isn't just about nutrition. It is about mindset. And you know what? Michael Jordan had to have one of the most relentless mindsets out there to become the player that he was. Anyone can become great in this business, but you have to create the right environment for you to level up. Now, here's the other thing. You are also creating an environment where others are known too. And this was another part of the call this morning that I absolutely adored. When you are so focused on people, you're not going to be so stressed out about Success Club or about, your rank. If you are creating an environment where you truly love, empower, and inspire people, if your challengers are like family to you, you're not going to care about really any of that stuff, but it will come naturally. Oh, there'll be ups and downs and you'll have setbacks, and that'll just be another chapter in your story that you get to overcome. You get to choose to get better through. But my question to you is, when you reach out to people, when you interview them, when you talk to them about what they want to achieve, what they've tried in the past, when these people are sharing the most intimate parts of their life, when they're sharing diseases that they are trying to conquer, when they're sharing their food addictions and habits, are you having compassion for them? Do you see them? Have you ever sat in front of your computer and wept over the stories that have been shared with you? Because you are creating an environment where others need to be known too. And I think the more that we are on a path of self-discovery and awareness and becoming better ourselves, the more we appreciate, the more that we can speak life, authentically speak life into other people who are taking their first steps. But if all we're doing is managing an image and being pretendaholics, people will they're going to sniff that out. They're going to know that you're more stressed out about the Success Club points than you are about them. Does that make sense? So yeah, I just want to encourage you guys, like, make sure that you are part of our team culture, you guys, is that we are great stewards of this opportunity, of our leadership, and of the challengers and coaches that come onto our team, right? And so steward that well. If you are in a space where you are feeling super frustrated and negative and are filled with self-doubt, that is limiting your ability to love others because you're not authentically loving who you are first. You can never pour out what is not first given to yourself. And so I just want to remind us to just be really good stewards of the relationships we have in this business, our mentors, our team, our challengers. Are we seeing people for who they are and what they can be? That's the kind of business I want to be a part of. That's the kind of team that I want to like storm the gates of hell with squirt gun for, right? Are people who genuinely, passionately just show up and love themselves and other people. Here's my big question for you. And I really do want you to write it in the chat. I hope the chat's going. I can't see. But what is one area you would like to make progress in this year? You see, I think one of the things that sabotages our ability to become relentless, that spirit of enduring, that's that grit that helps us keep going, no matter what our current circumstances might be telling us. Like, being relentless is just being very crystal clear that you are, in this for the long haul. And I think the one thing that sabotages us the most is that we try to become better in everything all at one time. Oh, I got to master Instagram stories. I got to do better in Facebook. I got to launch a business page. I've got to know all the challenge pack options. I've got to figure out how to perfect my inviting. It's overwhelming. It really is. And Mel Robbins, I hope y'all were on the Success Club call. And if you weren't, man, get with someone who was and talk to, get the information from them because it was pretty amazing. But, one of the things she focused on was focusing on just one thing a day that you want to make progress on. Well, what's one thing this year you want to make progress on? I asked my team this question. Do you want to get better at consistency? Do you want to master hitting Success Club each month? Do you want to get better at recruiting coaches? Do you want to, what's the one thing that you feel is the one thing that would make the most difference for your business this year? I'm not saying every year. I'm saying this year. What's that one thing? Because remember how I said how if you want to experience transformation, you have to get around people who are fighting for that transformation, right? If you want to become better at achieving Success Club, then you've got to get around some people who are really good at achieving Success Club. And remember, it's about taking action, right? So you want to learn from people who have the knowledge that you need to excel in that area. And so my challenge to you is to invest in yourself. Who do you need to know, or what do you need to know in order to move forward in that area? When I was a brand new coach, I knew that I was in this for the long haul. This is my end game. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be the person who is still here when my dream team person 7 years from now, finally says yes. I want to have that kind of grit and resilience to be here when they are ready. When the carbon copy of me, the most stubborn person in the world, I want to be here and ready for them when they are ready for this business. So early on in my business, and a lot of people don't even realize this, but I knew that I did not know social media very well. And so, I used it, and I had some, a pretty good base of friends, but I didn't really understand like the ins and outs of social media. And I knew that was my Achilles heel. So my first year in the business, you're not making a whole lot of money, but I'll tell you what, I took all the earnings that I had in the business and I invested in specialized training. I took social media training from Sandy Krakowski, Amy Porterfield, Shalene Johnson. I did an Instagram thing with her, and Jesse Reagan. And so like I actively sought out people who had knowledge that I needed to move my business forward in that one area. And here's the thing, like I knew I needed to go first to be able to give that knowledge away to my team. But you know what I'm experiencing is that until you own the knowledge for yourself, it doesn't really matter how much your sponsor coach knows or the team knows. Like until you really own it for yourself and treat this like a business, and you like take responsibility for that piece of whatever the business that you want to improve upon this year, you're probably not going to steward over it very well. You're not going to take as much action as if you had to seek out that information yourself. Does that mean we don't share everything with you? Heck no. Like we're trying to make this as duplicatable as possible, but I'm just saying sometimes we steward over knowledge that we invest in much better than knowledge that we are given, right? A few years ago at Summit, it was Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's like, yeah, I'll come up here and tell you like all the secrets of the social media world and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I know 90% of you aren't going to take action. And that really like hurt, right? But it's the truth. Like how many calls do we sit on? We don't take action on the information, and our leaders show up selfishly month after month and give us all of the best tips that they can. It's not lack of knowledge, it's lack of action. Right? And so perhaps you need to go find the person that is going to kick you in the rear. Perhaps you need to go find, the group of people who are leveling up so that they push you to level up too. Because here's what I know. If you're hanging around a bunch of coaches who are okay with just being okay, then you're not going to advance your business. You're just not. That's why I don't really believe in success partners. Personally, because I've seen some success partners work really well together and they hold themselves accountable, and others enable each other. And I think you just really have to be on guard about that, because after all, like this is a business and you need to treat it like that. Real quick, I don't know why I wanted to throw this in here. This is like the ADHD random slide that Joy throws in. But in order to become relentless in your business, you have got to be super, super on guard with your productivity. And these are just some of what Mel Robbins shared in her call for the Success Club earners from January. And what I really appreciated from her was that she highlighted that we are all in an attention economy right now. Like the notifications are firing at us all day long. Every single piece of media, from our phone to our computers, Facebook, Instagram, commercials, like everything is trying to vie for your attention. And every time on Facebook that you get distracted and you click on something, like Facebook just made money, you didn't. Right? Whatever gets your attention gets money. And like really think about that, because in the pursuit of becoming relentless, like you have to stay focused on the things that are going to advance you forward. And so these were just some of the very practical things that she said based on like science and research that can actually increase your productivity. One of them is no phone in the bedroom. That's a really hard one for me, but like put it in your bathroom, put it in the closet, put it in the kitchen, but like put it somewhere where literally you have to get up out of bed, which leads me to point number 2. Like when your alarm goes off, get up immediately, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up out of bed and go turn off your alarm, which is probably in the kitchen. So you're going to be up out of bed. Take 5 minutes to really, just have some quiet time for yourself. She mentioned that she did up to 30, but she said for most of us, like starting with 5 minutes can be super helpful. And just center yourself for the day. Pray, meditate, like take 5 minutes of quiet before the busyness of the day. And in that 5 minutes, number 4, think about that one thing that you're going to accomplish today, that one thing that you're going to move forward. Today, my one thing was follow-ups. I hate them. They drain the crud out of me. I procrastinate on follow-ups, and I know the fortune's in the follow-up, but that is my Achilles heel. And today, when I woke up and I had my 5 minutes, I said, I may not get them all done, but I am going to move the needle forward, and I'm going to get a big batch of them done. And I did. It's not about getting all the things done, you guys. It's about getting one little thing done a day. Right? That's what helps you become relentless. If you try to get everything done, you're going to be overwhelmed and you'll never accomplish anything because you're going to be spread so thin. Stay laser focused on one thing that you want to accomplish for today and one thing that you want to become better at to move your business forward. That's how you become relentless, because you're going to be able to see the progress in that so much faster. And then number 5, I think is so important for all of us workaholics. Anybody a workaholic? Just me? To really write down when you're going to quit working for the day. And this brings so much freedom because 1, you know you have a quitting time, and 2, you work so much more efficiently when you know that you have a timeline or a deadline. I often tell my coaches to set like, hey, pull out your phone and set your timer for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and then get to work. When the timer goes off, you're done, because we work so much more efficiently when we are under like the gun of trying to like beat the clock. And so writing down when you're going to quit working for the day is super, super important. So becoming relentless, y'all. Let me get this here. Really, it is a mindset that happens through personal development. It happens through, making a commitment to yourself just to get a little bit better every single day, to stop being a pretendaholic, get super honest with who you are, because that's going to attract the right people to you. Does that make sense? So I hope that was helpful. I feel like I talked forever. Does anyone have like question? Oh, you guys did use the chat. Yay. Sometimes we are not ready for the nuggets we are given. I know. I hate that. But I am so grateful for truth tellers in my life who like give it to me straight, because I'm never going to grow if someone sugarcoats what I need to work on, right? Like they got to be super honest with me. And that's part of having integrity as a business owner. A lot of people think integrity means like you're just not lying. Integrity means you're not sugarcoating things. So, kind of like last week, that we're not telling people this is super easy. It does take work. It's stress-free when you are doing it the right way and you're working on yourself, right? It's only stressful when you're focused on all of the other stuff, like all of the analytics, the performance, the success club, whatever. If you're focused on people and yourself, like it's not stressful. It's fun. That's a get to, right? I find it hard to find the truth teller. I promise to always be a truth teller. That was my my promise to myself and my team. I promise to always be a truth teller. Does anybody want to unmute and talk? These are good, you guys. So here's the thing. For those of you who did what you were told and wrote in the comments what you want to work on this year, I want you to talk to your sponsor coach. And I want you to tell them hey, maybe you haven't been a pretendaholic. Maybe you've been totally authentic, and that's great. I know there have been times in my business, in my life, where I'm totally a pretendaholic. So I think we all suffer from that a little bit. But I want you to get with your sponsor coach, and I want you to tell them that one area that you want to improve in this year. Not every area, but the one area. And they may have a recommendation for you. Like, you know, if you're going to ask for mentoring, then you better be willing to take action, right? Because as much as we want to be family and friends, like, it's not honoring to the person who is trying to help you if you, you know, take their time and then don't take action on what they're trying to tell you to do. Does that make sense? And so you may, if you have a hard time taking action when your sponsor coach tells you, like, hey, like, you need to do X, Y, Z, and you're like, I don't think I'm going to do that, then you probably need to find that right person who you will push for. And it might be like a Josh Coates, or, you know, it could be Shalene Johnson. It could be like, there's so many like leaders out there who have individual standalone trainings that you guys can do and invest in that will push you to that next level. But you got to get really honest about, like, where is your blind spot, you know, and how can you overcome that? How can you get better in that one little area? Because, like, you know, there's so much help out there. It just all depends on you taking action.
Hey, Joy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Delise.
Hey.
Hey, you asked if anybody wanted to talk.
Yeah, let me stop the recording, and then we can chit chat.